and analysts react. Social media has been buzzing with reactions from fans and analysts alike, many expressing their disappointment in the team's performance. Critiques focus on the Lakers' inability to adapt defensively and their over-reliance on key players like Doncic and LeBron. Analysts are calling for urgent changes to the team's defensive structure, emphasizing that if the Lakers want to compete in the postseason, they need to tighten their defense and improve ball security. Coaching decisions under scrutiny. Coach J.J. Redick's decisions are under scrutiny as well. Some fans are questioning his rotations, particularly the handling of players like Jared Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith, who seem to struggle throughout the game. There are discussions about potential adjustments that could be made to maximize the talents of role players, ensuring a more balanced attack and defensive effort. Looking ahead, key matchups and playoff implications. The stakes are high as the Lakers look to rebound against the Magic. A win is crucial not only for their confidence, but also for their position in the playoff race. With the Western Conference being so tightly contested, every game counts. If the Lakers can't find their rhythm soon, they risk slipping down the standings and facing tougher opponents in the playoffs. Injury updates and roster changes. Additionally, there's growing concern about LeBron's recovery from his recent injury. While he managed to contribute on the court, it's clear he's not yet at full strength. The coaching staff is likely to monitor his minutes closely in the coming games. There's also speculation about potential roster changes, with some suggesting the Lakers might explore trade options before the deadline to bolster their lineup. Community support and team morale. On a more positive note, the Lakers community has rallied around the team, with fans showing their unwavering support despite the setback. Players have taken to social media to thank fans for their loyalty, emphasizing that they are determined to improve and bring a winning spirit back to Los Angeles. Final thoughts. As the Lakers gear up for their crucial game against the Magic, the focus is not just on winning, but on building a cohesive team dynamic that can withstand the pressures of high-stakes basketball. With adjustments in play style, a renewed commitment to defense, and support from their fans, the Lakers are poised to turn this challenging chapter into a motivating force for the rest of the season. The coming days will be pivotal in determining whether they can reclaim their status as true contenders in the league.